So, not so sunny today then. Today I'm interested in trying to add an address book to Kitty. So Kitty is now telling me when my friends' birthdays are coming up. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be organised enough to send a card out, but it's a step in the right direction at least. So instead of writing scripts today, I'm going to be doing that. I gave myself the rule that I wouldn't make any videos about any of the other stuff I'm doing, like the AI stuff, the pen plotting stuff, the drawing stuff, like about a topic until I'd finished my tutorial videos, which means I'm kind of sneaking in a little mini video inside the week notes, which means it'll get lost, but it's still sort of really early about this anyway, so I'm still feeling it out. And yesterday I mentioned about the address book thing, and I thought I'd go into a little bit more depth about it. So going back ages ago when I was working 20 hours a week for museums and things like that, and I just started pen plotting, I also really got into writing letters to people because I thought it was something that was missing, like in this internet communication when people just say happy birthday on Facebook. It's nice to send out an actual birthday card. I don't get very many, so it's nice to hold a physical thing. So I wrote myself an address book system that would tell me when people's birthdays were coming up, and then I'd write the letter. But then I gave up my job and had to really focus on the art, so I didn't have as much time as I wanted to do that, but I've always wanted to go back to it. So of course recently I've been getting Kitty to write on my behalf, and even though that still feels a little bit weird, I've come to terms with the fact that I'm using AI and the pen plotter as an extension of myself, like the extended human, and my year of arts-based research taps into that. And my friends are very lovely, and I think they'll be very forgiving if they do get postcards and birthday cards written by my AI, because they kind of know what I'm doing. So anyway, I had that old address book system that I didn't get a chance to use, and I wanted to put it somewhere where it was more in my face, so I used Kitty. So now I integrated that yesterday. When I started up, it tells me which birthdays are upcoming, but I haven't linked it up to it, writing anything out or drawing a design on a birthday card yet. There are actually 4 places where I've had addresses, so let me show you. There's the address book that I previously had. Then on issue 6 of my newsletter, I was testing out sending things in the post. So I asked for guinea pigs to give me their address so I could post things out. If you're one of those people, I managed to get about 2/3 of the way through the list. So if you're still waiting for something from me, I have stuff over here, a big pile of stuff that's still going to go out, just getting round to it. So all those addresses are kept in Notion. I've also recently done the postcard bundles done by Kitty in the shop, where the addresses come from Shopify. And then I did the postcard exchange a couple of months ago where I had all the addresses in a CSV, and I did your traditional mail merge to get Kitty to print out all of those things. So I pretty much have addresses in 4 places: CSV, shop, newsletter, my address book software. And I've already written the code to get Kitty to write out addresses and notes here and here, so it makes sense to bring it all together in one place. So that's what I've done. All of these things here are now under Kitty, but even more importantly, they're encrypted, so it's in the JSON file, but it's all encrypted, and the key is kept out of any like repositories and things like that. And then the other thing is all the people are keyed off an ID, because obviously I don't want to be putting people's addresses up on GitHub or something like that where they can get pulled into GitHub's AI, and I don't want to be sending off those details like people's names, birthdays and addresses up into the cloud. So everyone has an ID, and that ID is linked to what Kitty decides to write to those people. And what Kitty's deciding to write is if I were writing to somebody saying, hey, I've been doing this recently and things like that, Kitty has access to all my journals now, my work journals anyway, for the past 6 months, over 6 months. So in theory, I can now ask Kitty, hey, can you write just a quick note to this person, the letter on my behalf with, this is what I've been doing recently, hope you're well, all of that type of stuff. Again, it's all a bit of experiment, but when I was walking home, I was thinking I probably should have explained that a little bit more. It's not finished yet. I managed to get everything into the system, but I haven't linked up the bit where Kitty actually writes out. I probably won't get to do that until next week now, because once again, I'm focusing on the scripts. Here we are once again at the Evolution Scanning Suite. Let's go in. And now I pretty much wait, see what happens. I've even taken the metal bound out of my beard here, because that would be bad. I think I've already said that. Anyway, I'm going to go in now. And there we go. We're all done. I'll explain tomorrow what it's all about. There's about 3 weeks until I get the results. Good morning. So, an explanation, I think. Let's pop the lights on. So, I had a scan the other day, yesterday, you saw that, on my brain. And the reason for that is I keep getting cluster headaches right here. Right here. And it first started ages ago. The first time I went to Kenya, I ended up getting these headaches. And at the time they went, well, it's probably the heat and the altitude that's going on there. And then I did something else. I think I went to America and it happened again. And they're like, oh, maybe it's the change in this. So whenever I got an attack or a cluster headache, it always coincided with something else. And it wasn't until I came back that they sort of diagnosed what it was. And it seems to be a seasonal thing. So it happens mainly in spring around this time here. And they're not entirely sure why. However, recently it's been happening a lot more, and it seems to be tied with if I relax in a super hot bath, and I really love hot baths, the heat seems to trigger it. Or I'm going to the gym, and if I raise my blood pressure at the gym, then it sort of triggers it. And it's definitely something connected to do with blood or blood pressure or something like that. And the thing that seems to fix it is painkillers with caffeine in, and of course caffeine affects the blood as well. So that's their thinking. But they also want to rule out that there isn't anything else that could be causing it. So the MRI scan, so they can look at this area of the brain here and make sure there's nothing going on, which I suspect there isn't. Like I said, it's one of those things that they want to rule out. They've also given me some medication that I can now take, which was new. They didn't have that before, so that is interesting. So that's the update on that. I thought I'd just share that with you because I've been a bit like, oh, I'm going to go have an MRI and stuff. Anyway, so I don't find the results for about 3 weeks, and I will let you know. Today, I'm just going to be writing scripts, so it's not very interesting. The other thing I'm doing is I'm doing this falling water kind of print, or as a pen plotter. I'll talk more about that tomorrow, but I'm getting Kitty to draw these on demand when someone's birthday is coming up or something like that. It's all linked into the address book thing. I think I'm just going to hand over writing notes to people, to Kitty, and see how Kitty handles it. Luckily, like I said, a lot of my friends are quite familiar with the fact that I'm just going to be sending them strange things through the post, and they're used to me doing that. Anyway, that's a bit of a long update, for Thursday morning, but there we go. Anyway, I'm going to grab some breakfast from the fridge here. Oh, hey, fancy meeting you here. I thought I'd just give this a try to see whether I could record in the car, really. I've seen quite a few people using the car as a little recording studio because it's convenient. You can kind of record a little bit when you're on your way from some place to another place. Yeah, that's right. Don't just describe how cars work. Anyway, I figured I would try out the GoPro and mount it on the suction thing to see if it works. So this is basically me just testing to see whether the microphone works, whether the recording works, and that's it. A little bit of bonus content for Thursday. Does this count as bonus content? Anyway, now I will see you tomorrow. I made it to the end of the week. Congratulations to both of us. I don't think I've got very many scripts written this week, and that was supposed to be my main focus. Clearly something's up there. I keep procrastinating about that. Which isn't good, because it's the most important thing I need to do. Anyway, I'm heading into the office. I bought a new bit of machinery that I'll show you right now. This, the Cricut Circuit Cricut, I don't know how to pronounce it, maker. not the number 3 version, because it was in the local craft shop really cheap, because it has no power cable, no books, no instructions, none of the fittings that go in here, because it was the display copy. But I figured I've been thinking about getting one of these for a while, just so I can see if it works as a plotter, so I didn't want to miss that opportunity to do that. I've ordered a power cable, which should be coming today or over the weekend, so maybe next week we'll have a little video of like trying to set that up, but we'll see. Today, in theory, I'm supposed to be writing more script. However, I'm feeling the great urge just to completely strip my website down and rebuild it, which is never a good sign. That obviously means I'm frustrated with something, and the fact that I'm actually going to spend some time doing that rather than writing scripts once again points to the fact that I obviously have a mental block on one of these scripts. I just need to work through it, but I'm not quite sure what it is. This week, there's been a lot going on for me, studio and stress-wise and the scanning. So I think it's okay to give myself a week off doing that anyway, and then take another stab at it next week. I'm going to edit these week notes, and then I'm going to get on with all of this stuff and destroying my website. That might be done by the end of the day. Let's find out. So I thought I'd quickly show you where I'm at with this. So this is Kitty using Kitty Before. Up here it's telling me there's 6 upcoming birthdays. And then if I go down here and do a who is Daniel Cat, which is me. And then I have this option down here, do I want to write something? So I can say, I'm going to do a birthday card. And I've only got falling water at the moment, so I'm going to do a falling water design. And I'm not going to do the envelope for the moment. But what that's doing, it's generating an SVG for me, and I haven't linked it all in so it automatically goes to the pen plotter yet. Maybe next week. But then you get like a birthday card like this on this cardstock. So that's kind of good. Got there. And then the other thing is I decided just to strip my own website all the way back down to basics because I haven't really been happy with it. So now I've ridiculously got this where I've got this little rabbit and these stars that go down here and a whole bunch of nonsense at the bottom here and some scrolling marquee, which is nice. Unfortunately, I've run out of time to actually update it properly, so I guess I'm going to be stuck with this design for a couple of weeks until I drop the new stuff in. Anyway, that's the end today update. I hope you have a great weekend. It's been kind of fun and weird this week. I'll see you all next week. Bye.